The stream is live. Hold on. Yes, I believe we are live. Select stream. There we go. And we'll just get the TikTok stream launched. And we're live. Okay. Pops the chat up there. And we are ready to go. Lovely jubbly. Oh, hold on. There we go. Hi Dagger, how you doing? Welcome aboard. You are the first one here, as usual. Hello. I'm pretty good, yeah. Excited to finally play RoadCraft. We're going to be playing that later on. Although my hair's a bit of a mess today. Sorry in advance. We're on the Trucking Tuesday. We are Balaclava Man. We are on a Trucking Tuesday double bill. Not just Euro Truck. We're also going to be doing a first look at RoadCraft today. So it's going to be an extra long stream. 4 hours. We're going for 4 hours today. So buckle in. We'll get started in just a minute, but like I say, we're going to be doing 2 hours of Euro Truck first of all. We're going to carry on our drive. We're currently in Croatia, en route to Turkey, so we're going to carry that on for the first 2 hours of the stream. Then for the second half of the stream, we're going to take a first look at RoadCraft, the newest game from Saber Interactive, the makers of Mudrunner and SnowRunner. I bought the game on Thursday. I haven't even launched it yet, so it is going to be a true first look video. I'm going to be going in completely blind. I've actually only seen about 5 minutes of gameplay, so it's going to be a complete blind, you know, diving in at the deep end with that game. But like I say, we're going to play a bit of Euro Truck first, so let's get back into it. Sorry, I've got a bit of an itchy nose. I'm going to keep touching my nose a lot. You on PC? I am, Aurelia, yes. Euro Truck is PC only, of course. We got the head tracker back on, as per usual. We're not going to be using this for RoadCraft. This is only for Euro Truck. But we're picking up right where we left off. I need to do the handbrake flip. We are currently just outside Zagreb in Croatia. And our delivery is to Turkey, specifically to Ferizli on the northern coast of Turkey. I think we can do that in 2 hours. We'll see. Obviously, I can't overrun today because we have another game to look at later on, but I will, you know, we'll do as much of this drive as we can in 2 hours, so let's get straight on into it. Hello Janice over on YouTube, how you doing? Good to see you again. I'm back, how you doing Mr. Quacks? What's that thing called on top of your steering wheel? I don't know if it has a technical name. It's just a ball. It's for extra it's for extra control if you need to use, like, if you need to drive one-handed. It's mostly, you know, it's mostly for like doing difficult maneuvers, like reversing maneuvers and stuff like that. You don't really use it that much in just regular driving. If it does have a technical name, I'm sure someone will tell me, but as far as I'm aware, it's just called a ball. What game is this, says Jacob? This is Euro Truck Simulator 2, Jacob. We're going to be playing this for 2 hours today, and then we're going to do a first look at RoadCraft later on, which I'm very much looking forward to. I've been saying since RoadCraft came out, I've been saying that I wanted to do a video, do a live stream of it. And I noticed that it was on sale last week. It was 28 quid, reduced from, I think, 35 is its full price. So I thought, why not pick it up now while it's a little bit cheaper, and we can finally do that first look. Using Xbox Game Pass? I'm not, Michael, no. So I don't have Xbox Game Pass, actually. Most of my games I buy through Steam. A couple of games I do have through Epic. I bought SnowRunner on Epic, Oddworld Soulstorm, a couple of others. But this is on Steam. RoadCraft is on Steam. Most of my stuff is on Steam. Why don't you? It's much cheaper. Is it really that much cheaper? I know Xbox Game Pass is pretty good value for money, but I just don't really see, for me personally, I don't really see the need for me to have it, because I don't need a ton of free games that I'm never going to play, you know? Can you show the PC? I can't show the PC, Michael. You can check out my pinned video if you want to see the PC. The second pinned video will tell you everything you need to know about it. I can't show it on stream because it's underneath my desk. Have you transitioned? Medically, no. Socially and legally, yes. Well, legally, partially. I haven't got a gender recognition certificate. But I am currently in the process of getting my new passport, which is halfway there, really. And to be quite frank, I'm not really bothered about getting a gender recognition certificate, considering that it's now essentially completely worthless in the UK. It doesn't afford you any recognition, so the gender recognition is really a misnomer now. It's effectively just a useless piece of paper since the recent Supreme Court decision, so I'm probably not going to bother with a gender recognition certificate. But like I say, I am in the process of getting a new passport, and I've actually applied for a driving license as well. I don't intend to drive, but I heard that it was a lot easier to get a driver's license in your preferred gender, and then I can use that as evidence to change my gender on other legal documents. So I've finally applied for a provisional driver's license, and I'm never going to use it for driving. I'm just going to use it as ID, which is fair enough, you know. And it's cheaper than a passport as well. And it's also a lot safer, because currently the only form of ID I have is my passport, and you know, if you lose your passport, you're fucked, basically. But if you lose your provisional license, you just get another one. You know, it's easy. I'd much rather keep my passport safely at home and like have a driver's license to use as ID when I'm out and about. So yeah, I went ahead and applied for that. I've been on HRT for almost a year, 9 more days and it will be, says Janice on YouTube. Nice one, Janice. Congratulations. Hope it's going well for you. Could you use your old passport to travel? I'm not currently in possession of my old passport, Xander, because you have to send it off. Like, you have to send your old one in when you apply for a new one, right? So currently I have no ID at all, because I'm waiting on my new passport to arrive. I think for your steering wheel you should get a Logitech G923, says Michael. Thanks for the recommendation, Michael. I am looking for a heavy-duty wheel, though, when I do upgrade. I've had my eye on the Thrustmaster T248 for a long time. But anything, you know, anything that's designed for trucks and tractors is what I'm after. I'm not really looking for a racing wheel because I don't really play racing games. Looks like everything's going pretty smoothly so far. I do need to check when the next rest stop is, though. It says 9 hours and 6 minutes, so we should probably put that in the on the map, right? Let's see how long it's going to take to get to the border. We could get to Bulgaria. 6 hours 44. There is a petrol station here, which is a bit further away. That's 9 hours 33. It might be a bit risky. There are usually sleep points at the border. Yeah, there's a sleep point at the border, so we can just sleep there. That's only 7 hours away. I've just seen your vid about your spider, so sorry. Thank you, Mr. Quacks. That was a while ago now, so I'm all right now. I've got a new spider now. I've had it for about a week. But it is always sad to lose a pet, even something as small as a spider. My new spider is called Amber. She's a Phidippus nikites. Very, very small, a lot smaller than Luna. But I've had her for about a week. She actually ate for the first time today. I didn't want to feed her straight away after she'd arrived because they do get quite stressed out when they're being, you know, in transit. And she also molted on Friday. Pretty much a couple of days after I got her, she's already had her first molt. And you're not supposed to feed them for a couple of days after they molt either, because their mouth parts aren't really solidified properly and they can injure themselves. So I fed her today for the first time. Nice big mealworm. She loved it, so she's doing very well. Do you know a lot about PCs? Maybe you know why, says Adam. I'm not a PC expert, Adam, no. I know what's good and what isn't. But I'm by no means a PC expert. This is coming from someone who literally has a degree in computer science. But that's more theoretical, you know. My degree was more like programming focused rather than like hardware. If you gave me a box of components and said, build a PC out of this, I wouldn't be able to do it. You seem very intelligent from just speaking. Thank you, Locked Not Loaded. That's kind of you to say. Okay, we just passed through a toll booth. So wait, what's this border then? What country are we driving into now? I'm not sure. We'll find out. Because I thought we were going to be in Croatia the whole time, all the way to... until we reach Bulgaria. That's the best afternoon, a random box of computer parts, says Evil Genius. Funny story, Evil Genius. I actually did get given a box of random computer parts not too long ago. We had a neighbour who lived next door for like 15 years, but he finally had to move out a couple of years ago because he had mobility issues and he had to move to a bungalow. But before he moved out, he was quite big on computers as well. He did a lot of his own computer building and stuff like that. And before he moved out, he came round and he said, "I've got a box of old computer parts here. Do you want it?" So I took this box of old computer parts from him. Unfortunately, they were old computer parts. Like they were like there was a fucking floppy disk drive in there in that box. So it wasn't really particularly useful to me. But I kept hold of most of it, so I've got a couple of like really old bits that I just have no idea what to do with. Oh shit, I'm in the bus lane here. just gonna... Okay, a bit dangerous, but I'm gonna have to cut across lanes here because I accidentally went into the wrong one. There we go. Oh, we need to be in this one. There we go. Whew. Nearly. We're still in the wrong place, aren't we? Oh, right. I swear to God, this shit happens every time I get to a border crossing. I always go to the wrong place. This is for buses. I thought it was just a general heavy vehicles lane, but it's explicitly just for buses. We have to be over the other side of that fence. Can we get through there? I'm wondering if we can cut through there. This is highly illegal, but if we can get through there, it's going to save us a lot of time. We can't. There is collision on that. Okay, now we're going to have to do something even more illegal, which is to do a U-turn and go the wrong way down this motorway to get to the right area that we were supposed to be in. So that's fun. A nice realistic playthrough today. See, the problem is, in real life, if I'd gone to the wrong booth, they would have just let me through anyway and be like, you know, make sure you go through the correct booth next time. But in-game, you have to actually turn around and drive the wrong way down a dual carriageway. This is where I was supposed to be. I was supposed to turn off here. So let's just ignore that. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. We're back where we're supposed to be. Ooh. Apologies for the lag as well, by the way. It is caused by the head tracker. But it's a small price to pay for free head tracking software, so I'm not complaining. My viewers might. and they frequently do. I'm sorry guys, but this is, you know, I wanted the head tracker, and you know, if I want to use the head tracker, there's going to be a bit of lag. It's just how it's got to be. Thanks for following, Bloodbear. Why is your username Ashbridge Industries when your name is Saul? Good question, Finley. So Ashbridge is my surname. Ashbridge Industries is just like my brand name, you know. It sounds very official. I like sounding official. It gives the impression that I'm a highly organised business person, which of course I'm not, but it gives that impression, which is good. Thanks for following Dane and Callum and Elizabeth. What's wrong with your voice, says Higgs. Nothing's wrong with it, Higgs. It's just testosterone. That's just what happens when you go through male puberty. You get a voice like mine. If you're unlucky. It couldn't even get a deep voice, you know. It couldn't be like a nice, deep, manly voice. It had to be this horrible, squeaky, nasally, grating sound. But unfortunately, you know, that's just life. Some people aren't blessed with golden vocal cords. Some people have shit voices, you know. That's the genetic lottery. What's your truck livery, says Bloodbear? My truck is painted in the colours of the trans pride flag, which I think looks very nice. I'm going to hit that car. Whoops. 12% damage? No way. Okay, I must have damaged myself somewhere previous, because there's no way I got 12% damage from that. In fact, I think we did get some damage in the last stream, right? So that's probably carried over. You single, says Ethan. I am, Ethan, and I'm happy to keep it that way, thank you. I'm doing just fine on my own right now. Okay, so what country? This is Serbia, right? Yeah, this is Serbia, okay. So we have left Croatia. You know what, I'm just gonna go. Do we need fuel? I think we're alright. Are you a boy or a girl? Because I just joined for the first time, says Dane. I'm a trans woman, Dane, so I was born and raised as a boy, but I came out about 4 years ago. And I've lived as a woman ever since. How are you doing today? I'm good, thank you, Matthew. How are you doing? Might need the lights on. I can never tell. Right, the problem is I've got a mod that affects the lighting engine in the game, so you can't tell that I've actually got my full beam headlights on right now, but I have. Hi, Mackenzie. How are you doing? Oh, God, eyes on the road. How did your parents react to you coming out, if you don't mind me asking? Says Mad Max. Not at all, Mad Max. I'm perfectly happy to answer that. My parents were very supportive. They were not particularly surprised. I've mentioned before. They always sort of had a suspicion that I might be gay. So when I came out as trans, it was like they weren't totally shocked. It wasn't what they were expecting, but they weren't like totally shocked at the same time. You know what I mean? They knew I was some flavour of queer, but they weren't sure which flavour. Like I say, they thought I was gonna come out as gay. So it was sort of like, I genuinely think, like, when I said, the first person I came out to was my stepmom, and I was like, can I have a word with you? Do you want to, like, make a cup of tea and we can sit down and have a little bit of a chat? I'm 100% sure that she thought I was gonna come out as gay right then. So when I said I was transgender, she was like, "Oh, I mean, okay, not what I was expecting, but yeah, okay." And my dad was the same. My like I say, they were all. My parents have been very supportive. I think they, like I say, they didn't know that I was trans, but they suspected that I wasn't a straight man. Let's put it that way. What axle is this truck, says Mackenzie? This is 4 axles. We're only using 3 at the minute because this is quite a lightweight trailer, so we got 1 axle lifted. Did it feel amazing telling them? It did, honestly. It was definitely a big weight off my chest. I actually told them very early on. Like, I'd only really come out to myself, like, a few weeks before. Because I think, you know, a lot of people aren't as fortunate as I am. A lot of people don't have supportive parents, and I just hated the idea that I could stay in the closet for years, and then if I eventually told them, they'd take it badly. So I thought it was better to just tell them straight away. As soon as I started questioning, I sat them down and said, look, I think I might be transgender. I'm telling you now right at the start because I need to know that you're going to be there to support me right from the get-go, you know? And like I say, fortunately they were. But like I say, I just came out pretty much straight away. As soon as I first started questioning, I thought I'm going to tell them straight away just so we know right from the beginning where we stand. And it turned out to be the right choice. Where are you going, says UK Politics? We are currently heading to Turkey. We're in Serbia right now. Hello, STFC. How are you doing? Did you get the farming sim panel from Logitech? I did, Mackenzie, yes. The steering wheel, side panel, and pedals are the Logitech G heavy equipment bundle, so it's all from Logitech. Heading through Bulgaria or Macedonia. We're going via Bulgaria. Yeah, we're right on the northern coast of Turkey where we're going to as well, so we're going Bulgaria. Including the gear stick? No, the gear stick is the Thrustmaster T248, which was only £70, really good price for what you get. It's an 8-speed gear shifter, and fortunately there's a lot of freedom with mapping gears on Euro Truck, so I have got it mapped to my 12-speed gearbox that this truck has. Have you stopped playing Minecraft because you didn't play yesterday, says STFC? I haven't stopped, STFC, but I am on a 2-week schedule now, so there's going to be a Minecraft stream next week. But yeah, we're now on the 2-week schedule, which means we're going to be playing each game once a fortnight rather than once a week. 70 pounds, that's heavy for plastic, says Higgs. Higgs, I hate to tell you, this is literally probably the cheapest gear shifter you can possibly buy. You think £70 is expensive? Some of these things cost £200. It's an expensive hobby to get into. You can get cheaper stuff if you shop around, and like I say, 70 is honestly a really good price compared to some other gear shifters on the market. But yeah, honestly, this is cheap. Okay, I'm going to try and... This might be a bit tricky. I need to turn my neck at a weird angle to be able to see out of the window because of the head tracking software. Okay, I'm just going to go. Some are £500, says Evil Genius. Yeah, exactly. Like I say, so you can get... So some stuff can be really expensive. I think I might be indicating the wrong way there. There we go. I'm just going to cut in here. Yeah, like I say, some stuff, it can get very expensive. Most of my gear is very cheap stuff. Like the steering wheel and side panel, £230. That is quite literally the cheapest steering wheel money can buy. The gear shifter's fairly cheap as well. You know... And that same goes for most of my setup, to be honest, because although a lot of expensive stuff is out there, you can get decent quality stuff on a budget. Like these headphones were 20 quid, my microphone was only 30 quid, my webcam was only 40 quid. Like you can get cheap stuff, you just need to know where to look. You can get good quality stuff on a decent budget if you know where. Okay, there's a few questions coming in. I will get to them all in due course, don't worry. Using the eye tracker, says STFC. Yes, I'm using OpenTrack again today off of my spare webcam, so that's how I'm able to look around in the cab. How much is your PC, says Chimpsman? My PC was £1,012, so it was by far the most expensive part of the setup. My entire setup cost just over £2,000, so the PC itself is half of that, and then everything else combined was another £1,000. And that was, you know, over a long time, you know, buying bits and pieces. Maybe do a breakdown of your setup and places to buy, says Evil Genius. I have one, Evil Genius. If you check out my second pinned video, right at the top of my profile, my second video is all about my setup. It will tell you everything I've got, where it all came from, and how much it all costs. Did you build your gaming PC, says Mackenzie? I didn't, Mackenzie. I got mine made to order from Bedrock Computers. I'm not really comfortable building my own PC. I do have a lot of friends who have built their own PCs, and they have, you know, offered to help if I ever do want to build my own. But I don't think I'm really ready for that kind of thing yet. I'm a lot more comfortable to buy something, you know, pre-built, even though it is more expensive, especially if it's like made to order. But I just prefer the peace of mind of not having to put it together myself, you know? Oh, is there an accident here? That car's seems to have sunk into the tarmac there. I absolutely love how unapologetically yourself you are. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. That means a lot. I do try to be as authentic as possible. I mean, you know the old saying, you know, that everybody on the internet is putting on a face. No, you know, nobody on the internet is their genuine self. But I do try to be as much as possible. I try to be as true to my real life persona as I can be, you know. How's the spider? She's very good, Aeneas. She just ate today for the first time since I got her. A nice big mealworm, so she's settling in absolutely wonderfully. Hoping to do like some photos of her, you know, hoping to post some photos of her soon so that people who missed the live stream can see her. But we'll see what happens. Is there a schedule, says STFC? I will put one in the Discord, STFC. Sorry, I know you've asked that question a few times. There currently isn't a like printed schedule that you can go and read, but I will put together a schedule just to clarify for everyone. But the current schedule is 1 week I'll do Minecraft Monday, Farm Sim Friday, and Sci-Fi Sunday, and then the next week I'll be doing Trucking Tuesday, Factorio Thursday, and Train Sim Saturday. So there will still be 6 streams over each 2-week period, but I'll only be playing each game once every 2 weeks instead of once a week. I just need to... let me just have a quick look. Okay, we're 3 hours away from the border with Bulgaria. I think we... yeah, we're okay. I think I'm just I accidentally turned my headlights off. What's the best starter wheel with force feedback? Honestly, I don't know. This is the only steering wheel I've ever had, so I can't answer any questions about other wheels because I haven't tried any. Force feedback immediately does bump the price up a bit, though. This one doesn't have force feedback, but obviously, once you throw force feedback in, that immediately puts the price up a lot higher than something like this, which doesn't have it. But I honestly don't know. Like I say, I honestly don't really know where to look, what to recommend for you, because this is the only wheel I've ever had. Thanks for following, Richard. Which map mods are you using, says Klaz? I am using almost 200 mods, Klaz. We've got 197 mods active right now. I am still working on the mod list. People keep asking if there's going to be a published mod list so they can download the mods that I'm using. The answer is yes, I'm working on it, but when you've got 197 mods, it takes a long time to put together that list. How come your wheel's a bit glitchy, says Tyler? It's just an old wheel, Tyler. I've had this wheel for like 3 years now, and it's had quite a lot of wear and tear in that time, so there is a lot of stuttering, a lot of, you know... You'll see the in-game wheel flicker quite a lot when I steer this wheel. It's just because the internal mechanisms are all worn out from years of use, you know. What game is this, says Killian? This is Euro Truck Simulator 2. Game's so laggy, get a better PC, says Richard. So the lag is actually caused by the head tracking software. If you're a regular viewer here, you will know that my streams don't usually lag like this. It is only since I've started using the head tracking software. So the PC can handle the game. The game is absolutely fine. It's just the head tracker causes the game to stutter a bit. But again, it's completely free head tracking software, so I'm not going to complain. I'd still rather have this and be able to, you know, have the head tracker. The trade-off is that there's going to be a bit of lag, you know. But as someone who grew up with a Windows XP laptop until like 2019, I've used to lag in my video games, so it really doesn't bother me that much. If it bothers you, I'm sorry. But again, it's not the PC, it's the head tracker. That's a nice setup. Thank you, Killian. You bother me, says Shorty666. Good, good. Glad to hear it. I actually love hearing that I bother people by my mere existence. It always gives me a bit of a smile, actually, to know that there are people out there who are just sat there seething with rage. Meanwhile, I'm just here playing Euro Truck Simulator. Game's probably not the best optimized as it's getting old. That is a good point as well, STFC. This game is very old, and it does still continuously get updated. They recently updated the light processing engine, you know, so the game does still... And they actually did the sound engine as well a couple of years back. But it is an old game. It's built on an old engine. It's not the best optimized for newer systems. I think you're a cool person. Thank you, M100. Eyes on the road, says Sweeney. I try. I do try to keep my eyes on the road, but I do have a chat to speak to as well, to interact with. I think you're interesting to listen to. Thank you, Welsh TikToker. I try to keep the conversation going, you know. There's one thing that I really hate when I'm watching other people's live streams is when there's dead silence, you know. Like, I hate dead air. I hate when someone's just sat there playing the game in complete silence and, you know, not talking, not reading the chat, nothing like that. So I try to keep interaction up as much as possible. I try to make sure that I'm constantly talking, constantly interacting with you guys, you know. Because otherwise I could just do a video, right? I could, you know, if I was just going to sit here in silence for 3 hours, I could just do it as a video. The whole point of live streaming for me is to talk to the chat and interact, you know. Thanks for following Scott Charman. Hopefully they make a third one, but very unlikely, says STFC. Honestly, I don't really want a Euro Truck Simulator 3. I want Global Truck Simulator. I think that is the next project that they should be working on, because at this point we have two massive simulators that focus on two different parts of the world. We got American Truck Simulator and we got Euro Truck Simulator. I think the logical next step is to have a global truck simulator and, you know, just have a game that basically combines Euro Truck and American Truck Simulator, and then starts adding in, you know, the DLCs. They can start adding in other parts of the world as well. Because I firmly believe that in like 10, 15 years time, we could have a truck simulator that has the entire world in it. I mean, look at my map on Euro Truck right now. I can go anywhere in Europe. I can go across most of Africa. I can go all the way down to South Africa. I can go all the way across Russia. I can go to China, Korea, Japan. I can even go to Australia. I can go to Canada. There's even Antarctica. I can go all the way down to Scott Amundsen base in Antarctica. This is a good chunk of the world. Like, I genuinely think 10 years time we will have the entire world in a truck simulator game. I think we are close to achieving that, genuinely. How'd you get the big boy map, says Friends Conrad? Lots of mods, friends. Lots and lots of mods. We have 197 mods active right now. Almost into the big 200. When are you next on Farming Sim, says Aurelia? Next Friday, Aurelia. So there's going to be no Farming Sim stream this Friday, but there will be one next Friday. What map is the Japan one? I really want to play in Japan, says STFC. There is no... Did I say Japan? I didn't mean to say Japan. There is a Japan map, but it's a standalone map, which means it's separate from the European map. Like, you can't drive from the European map to the Japanese map. But there is a Japanese map. I think it's just called Japan Map. It would be nice to see a version of it that is compatible with the European map as well, though, so that we could drive from Europe to Japan. But sadly not at the moment. Are these all mods for the maps, or are they official? So most of them are mods. I do have all the official SCS software maps as well, all the official DLCs. I think there's like 9 of those currently. There's Going East, Vive la France, Italia, Iberia, Road to the Black Sea, Beyond the Baltics, Nordic Horizons is the one they're working on right now. There's Greece, there's what's the Scandinavian one called? There's one based on Scandinavia. I think there's like 8 or 9 official DLCs, map DLCs at the minute. But yeah, so I've got all of those, but I've also got quite a lot of mods as well. And I get most of my mods from a site called Trucky Mods, which is where a lot of the big Euro Truck modders post their content. I recommend checking it out if you do want to get into modding Euro Truck and playing modded Euro Truck. How much was the gear stick? This was £70. It's the Thrustmaster TH8S. Saul, says Richard. Yes, that's my name, Richard. How are you doing? £69 paid. Nice. Did your parents name you after the movie? As far as I'm aware, Richard, there is no movie called Saul. My parents named me after Slash, the lead guitarist of Guns N' Roses, whose real name is Saul Hudson. Okay, we are at the border with Bulgaria, so this is where we're going to take a rest stop. We need one quite desperately. You can hear my character yawning. Are you M2F? Yes. Okay, let's shift down a bit here because I don't want a repeat of last time. I want to make sure that we're going to the right place this time. There's a truck in front of us and he's turning right. So we're going to turn right as well. There we go. I see green arrows and pictures of trucks. We are in the right place this time. Am I too old for you, says Richard. I don't know how old you are, Richard, but I'm not looking for a relationship with anyone at the minute, regardless of how old they are. Certainly not someone who's just joined my live stream on TikTok, you know. $60. Well, in that case, yes, you are definitely too old for me, Richard. I'm 26. And also, like, I'm not going to date someone that I just met on a TikTok live stream. This is not a dating app, Richard. Ignore it all, it's most likely a troll, says Jess. I know, Jess, but it's so fun interacting with trolls. Like, full disclosure, I do know when I'm being trolled. I just prefer to lean into it because I think it's funny. I do it on my lives too. It's just fun, Jess, you know? Oh, shit. And honestly, I think it's the best thing you can do. You can't ignore a troll because they'll just keep spamming until you respond. So you've got to give them some kind of reaction, and the best reaction is to just play into it. Is it just me, or does Farming Sim 25 feel like a mobile game, says AB Knots? I don't think so, AB Knots. I think it's a pretty nicely fleshed out game. How are you today? Says CB Truck Spotted. I'm very good, CB Truck Spotted. How are you doing? I should have my handbrake on while we're having our documents checked. There we go. Don't want to be rolling through the checkpoint. Okay, this is the rest stop, so we're going to sleep here. Why are you not playing Euro Truck 1? Because it's shit. To be perfectly blunt, Euro Truck Simulator 1 is a pretty old, pretty crap game in comparison to Euro Truck Simulator 2. No offense to the Euro Truck 1 enjoyers out there, but... Farming Sim 25 has a lot less maps at this stage. That's very true, Aurelia. It is still quite a recent game, though. You know, you got to give it time for a few more maps to come out. There is a really great map. I've recently watched Daggerwin. I'm a big fan of Daggerwin. I like watching Daggerwin's Farming Sim content. But he recently did a first look at a map called Saxlingham, which is based in Norfolk. And it looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, it looks like it might genuinely be one of the most detailed UK maps I've ever seen in Farming Sim. I really want to try it. So I'm thinking we might actually start winding things down on Moss Valley. Because I love Moss Valley, don't get me wrong. I'm really enjoying Moss Valley. But I feel like we've seen pretty much everything the map has to offer. It's not a very big map, you know, there's not many production chains and stuff like that. I feel like, you know, we've kind of done enough with Moss Valley for now. So what I'm thinking is I might do a couple more episodes in that map and then move on to Saxlingham, which isn't yet released on ModHub. It's currently available on itch.io. But it hasn't been released on the Mod Hub yet because the creator wants to do some bug fixing and stuff like that first, you know, iron out the kinks. But it looks really good. Like I say, it's called Saxlingham, Saxlingham, and it's based on a real village in Norfolk. I watched Daggerwin's first look video and I immediately thought I have to play that map on stream. It looks incredible. So yeah, watch this space. We might be doing a new series on Farm Sim Friday. Okay, where are we going to rest next? There's a petrol station just outside Corlu. That's 7.5 hours. We'll go there. Where are you going today? Says Harry. We're driving to Ferizli in Turkey. I don't know if we're going to get all the way there because we are only going to be playing until 5 o'clock today. Then we're going to switch over to RoadCraft. We're going to be playing that for a couple of hours, so it's going to be an extra long stream today. Is your game dropping FPS or just the stream? The game is lagging a bit, J1Z. That is because of the head tracking software. It does cause a bit of stuttering. But it is completely free head tracking software. And if the price I have to pay is a bit of stuttering, I honestly don't mind. The alternative is buying like really expensive head tracking hardware. But I'm using a head tracker called OpenTrack, which is completely free. It works off a webcam, so if you've got a spare webcam and you want to use a head tracker, check out OpenTrack. It's really, really cool. And like I say, it's completely free, which is nice. And if the price I have to pay for that is a bit of lag, I honestly don't mind. I'm not mad about it. Oh wow, we're getting some haze. We're getting some low visibility today. Lovely, and thunder. Nice one. That might help the frame rate actually. The visibility being lower. Can you crash it? Says Mario. I could crash it, Mario. I'm not going to crash it on purpose. Oh, look at that lightning as well. I am playing with a mod called Brutal Realistic Graphics and Weather, which is available. I think it's available on the Mod Hub, on Steam Workshop. Sorry, and it makes the weather a lot more realistic. Okay, visibility is very low right now. I think we're going to try and stick to 50. Because I don't want to risk crashing in this rain. In fact, this is only a 40 zone, so maybe we should stick to 40. Where's your bed? Do you sleep on your bed? Says Richard. My bed's there, behind me, and yes, I do sleep on it. Oh, look at Ginger. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Phoenix. How are you today? Do you ever play Truckers MP? Says Tom. I do, Tom, yes. I'm hopefully going to get back into that soon because a few people have been asking for me to get back on Truckers MP. And I do want to try the new DLC, the Farm Machinery DLC, which would require me to update to version 1.55. So I might as well kill two birds with one stone and do some Truckers MP at the same time. So hopefully Truckers MP might come back quite soon. Oh god, the visibility is somehow getting worse. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen it this bad before, honestly. It's cool though, I like it. Okay, so we're just passing through Sofia, which I believe is Sofia the capital of Bulgaria? I think it is. Seriously need this game, says Unmarked Veil. You should get it, Unmarked Veil. It's so good, especially with a few mods, you know, you can transform it. I mean, look at this, it's just incredible. Oh shit, whoa! I just ran a red light. Okay, that's how bad the visibility is. I didn't even see that there were lights there. Okay, that was bad. That was very bad. Would you rather play Euro Truck or American Truck Simulator? Says WLW. I prefer Euro Truck. I've never played American Truck Simulator. I'm not really into American trucks. I've never really been a fan of like big rigs and cab forwards, you know, T-cabs. I've always preferred the more compact cab over designs that we have here in Europe. And I prefer the roads in Europe as well, you know, all the windy roads up the side of mountains and stuff like that, whereas American Truck Simulator, there's a lot more focus on the more wide open, flatter areas of the country, which I just don't really find as interesting. So yeah, I've never really been inclined to play American Truck Simulator, to be honest. Afternoon, Charlie. How you doing? You just can drive a truck, says Nobby Davies. What do you mean by that, Nobby? You just can drive a truck. When's RoadCraft, says Hayden. I'm going to be playing RoadCraft about 5 o'clock, so another hour, and we will dive into RoadCraft. I'm very excited to finally be giving RoadCraft a try. But I didn't want to do RoadCraft for the whole stream, because I know a lot of people do look forward to Euro Truck specifically. That's why I decided to do the double build. So we're going to keep playing Euro Truck for another hour, then we're going to play RoadCraft until 7 o'clock. You're going to love RoadCraft, it's a brilliant game, says Unmarked Vale. I certainly hope so. Big fan of Mudrunner and Snowrunner. I know it's a very different game in terms of, like, the objective of the game, you know, building roads and stuff like that. I've heard it described as basically like a construction simulator, but with Mudrunner and Snowrunner's physics engine, which sounds incredible. You know, that I think the big selling point for Snowrunner and Mudrunner is the physics, especially the mud physics. But I think that's what's interesting to me about the Spin Tires series is Mudrunner. Like when Mudrunner first came out, it's kind of like just a proof of concept, really. Like there isn't really much to do in Mudrunner. It's more like a tech demo to show off the engine, you know, to show off the realistic vehicle physics and mud physics and damage and stuff like that. And then with SnowRunner, they took it a step further and started to add, like, gameplay elements into it. Like, you know, you can do search and rescue missions, you can do farming missions. And now with RoadCraft, it feels like they finally made, like, a full game with that engine, which is really cool. And I'm really looking forward to trying it and seeing what it's got in store for us. Okay, the fog has cleared, but it is still raining. So keep the wipers on. Pazardzik Oblast. Lovely. I think that's a Pro Mods thing, right? Where it shows you the region as well as the country. Because in the base game, it only shows you what country you're in. But I think with Pro Mods, it shows you the regions as well. Which is cool, I like that. Ooh, McDonald's. Not today. Woo, okay, I wasn't expecting that guy to pull out quite so sharply. What steering wheel do you use, says Matthew? This is the Logitech G heavy equipment wheel. I got it as a bundle with the side panel here. It's called the Logitech G heavy equipment bundle. The bundle is worth it for the side panel alone, honestly. The steering wheel's a bit rubbish, but the side panel is fantastic. See you at 5-ish. See you, Charlie. If you're coming back for the RoadCraft, that will be 5 o'clock-ish. Ooh, Plovdiv Oblast. Lovely. Let's have a quick look at the map, actually. See where we are. Right, we are right in the heart of Bulgaria now. Right in the middle. We're definitely going to get to Ferizli before the end of the stream. This is interesting. I don't think the road actually goes out into the sea there. I think it just doesn't quite fit on the map. I think it's safe to say that that isn't just a massive bridge that goes out into the ocean. It might be. Who knows? I've driven it before, clearly, because it's in yellow, but I can't remember. We'll see. An hour left of trucking. Yep. 1 hour to go. We're halfway. So I don't know what we're going to do if we get there early. Because we're not going to have time to take another job. We'll see. I really enjoyed the Abe's Odyssey stream the other day. Great watch. Thank you, Unmarked Veil. I love that game so much. And it is great to revisit some of the old classics, you know. Some of the games that were such a big part of my childhood. And there'll be more of that coming next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. We'll be doing some more Abe's Odyssey. We made quite a lot of progress in it as well. More progress than I thought we were going to make. Because I did say in the stream that it's a much harder game than Abe's Exodus. And I was really worried that it was going to take me hours and hours just to get out of Rupture Farms, but we actually made pretty good progress. We're probably about a third of the way through the game. So I reckon it's going to go for 3 episodes, same as Abe's Exodus did. After which point we're going to go straight on to New and Tasty. That is the current plan. We are marathoning the rest of the Oddworld series, so as soon as we finished Abe's Odyssey, we're going straight on to New and Tasty, and as soon as we finish New and Tasty, we're going straight on to Soulstorm, and by the end of the year, we will have played all 6 games in the Oddworld series. And I might play Abe's Exodus again, just because it's the best one. Game caused me so much hell as a child. Watch for the nostalgia. Love these old gems. Same, Unmarked Veil. It really was it was a game that I really loved as a child, but I always preferred Abe's Exodus because it was a lot easier. I do think Abe's Odyssey is a very challenging game. Because there's no quick save, there's no checkpoints, you know, it's a lot more unforgiving than its sequel. Are you trans? I am trans, yes. Why don't you get an HGV license, says Daves. Because I don't want one, Daves. I'm 26, and just yesterday I applied for my first ever provisional license. I don't care about driving IRL at all. The only reason I've finally decided to apply for my provisional license is so that I have an alternate form of ID apart from my passport. I'm transfem as well. Nice. Good to meet you. How are you doing? It's always nice to meet a fellow transfem out there in the audience. Do you ever plan on having kids, says Cozzy. I do, Cozzy, yes. I do want to have my own kids at some point. I'm not in any great rush, you know. I'm only 26. I think I'm going to wait until I'm at least 30 before I even think about having kids. But it's definitely something that I want to do. Are you on estrogen? Not at the moment, no. HRT, again, is something that I very much want to do. I'm not bothered about any surgeries, but I definitely want to take HRT. Oh, we're entering Haskovo Oblast. Nice. Which does pose a bit of a problem with the whole having kids thing, so most likely, if I want to have my own biological kids, then I would need to, you know, get my sperm freezed or something like that. But yeah, definitely, I do want to be on HRT. I'm not in any great rush, really. I did not see that car at all. I'm going to have to put my left window down. Woo. I'm going to have to put my left window down because I cannot see a thing in the rear view mirror there. There we go. I'm going to try and do an overtake here after this white car. Okay, let's go. There we go. I'll put it back up again. It's too loud. Okay, I haven't actually managed to overtake yet, but I have managed to change lanes, so that's something. Okay, what now? Why are we slowing down? What are you... What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you just stood there? I would have been quicker if I'd just stayed in the same lane. Move! I can't even beep because the horn doesn't work on this steering wheel. What are you actually doing? Okay, as soon as it's clear... Okay, he's moving now. Jesus Christ. That old lady has broken down, says in Mark Bell. Yeah, honestly. What? What was that? What was that? Fuck off. No. Did you... Okay. Apparently, it's just one of those roads where everyone forgets how to drive. That guy just 100% just turned straight into me. Jesus. What's your GPU? You're so laggy, says Old School. I've got a 2070. RTX 2070. The reason for the lag is not because of my GPU, it's actually because of the head tracking software. But it's free, so I'm not complaining. It's amazing that I didn't actually take any damage just then. I mean, I still have quite a lot of damage from earlier, but I'm amazed that I actually managed to avoid that collision. Okay, we're now entering Turkey. Oh, wait, no, wait, no, not. Are we? Yeah, we are. We're entering Turkey. Okay, lovely. A little bit close there. Okay, let me check the map. Just for a sec. Where did we put the rest stop? Okay, we're about 2 hours from the rest stop. And then from the rest stop, it's not another 6 hours or so to the final destination. I really shouldn't mention final destination when I'm behind a truck with logs on the back. That's got to be a bad omen. But we're making pretty good time. We've still got 50 minutes. Okay, small accident there, never mind. We've still got 50 minutes and only 300 miles to go. I think we're making pretty good progress. Hi Saul, can you remember me? I do, Danny. How you doing? It's been a while. Small accident, says CB. Yeah, it's very minor. We just had a little bit of a bump into the barrier there. I mean, in real life, it would have just snapped off, but obviously, the barriers in this game are completely indestructible, so we take damage instead. There we go. That one opened all right. In fact, would they snap off? What are barriers made of these days? What is that? Steel? Aluminium? Paper? It's not wood. I'm fairly confident. It's not wood. It's some kind of metal. Or it could be plastic. I don't know. What are barriers at toll booths usually made of? I don't know, maybe that's solid concrete. Maybe that's why I keep getting so much damage every time I bump into one. Can I hear a train? I think I hear a train. I can't see it. I'm pretty sure it's aluminium, says Unmarked Bear. I thought maybe aluminium, because it's very lightweight, cheap material, right? And it's, like, probably safer than having it made out of, like, fucking reinforced steel or something like that. Just in case anyone does. Funny story, I crashed into one on a moped, never again. Oof. Damn. Sorry to hear that, Unmarked Veil. Good job it was aluminium then. Yeah, like I say, I'm pretty sure the ones in this game are made out of, like, titanium reinforced with lead, because they're completely indestructible in-game. You hit one of these things at 90 miles an hour, it just stops the truck instantaneously. Concrete, yeah, they're solid concrete. Or what? They're like pure neutron matter. You know, like neutron stars are just made of pure neutrons. The densest material in the universe. I think that's what they make the toll booth barriers out of in this game. Probably weighs like 3 billion tons. How's Amber doing? She's doing very well, thank you. She just had her first meal today since she's been with me, which she absolutely loved. She molted on Friday, so had to give it a couple of days. You're not supposed to feed them straight after they molt because they're a little bit weaker. But yeah, she ate today. And she's settling in pretty well. I did initially. I thought that the enclosure was going to be a bit too big for her. I mentioned in Wednesday's stream that I wanted to downsize her to a slightly smaller enclosure because the one that she's in is quite big for a spider her size. But she seems really comfortable in there. It seems like it actually might be not too bad. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to go with my original plan to get a smaller enclosure, or if I might just keep her where she is, because she seems pretty happy there. Why is the traffic not moving? It's because of these weird crossroad. Right, well, I don't understand these crossroad things. Like, for some reason, at the border, the roads cross each other, and then they immediately cross back over again. Like, we're not changing the side of the road that we drive on. Like, Bulgaria drive on the right-hand side, Turkey drive on the right-hand side. There's no reason for this, but like when we get to the border crossing, the roads cross over each other, and then as soon as you get past the border crossing, they cross back again. I'm not sure what. I'm not quite sure why. Especially when it leads to traffic like this. Like, look at that. We're not getting out of here anytime soon, are we? I mean, the light's gone back to red again. We didn't move at all. Good time for a drink, though. Got an orange Dreamsicle Monster today. Haven't had one of these for ages. One of my favourite flavours, though. I've been on the regular Monster recently, though, just because you can buy that in, like, 4-packs. You can actually get in 9-packs from Asda, which is what I've been doing. But like some of the best flavours you can only buy as individual cans. But yeah, because I've been buying multi-packs, I've just been getting like regular Monster. Can we hear the horn? Says Oliver. Unfortunately, you can't, Oliver. The horn is broken in this truck. It won't work if I press the horn on the controller on the steering wheel. It doesn't work if I press the horn key on my keyboard. It just doesn't work at all. And it's only in this game, for some reason, that the horn just doesn't work. I wish it did, because I'd like to use it right now in this traffic jam. Are you going on holiday in the summer holidays? I'm not. No, I'm not planning on going anywhere this summer. I've really been enjoying my trips to the Peak District. I think I'm just going to keep doing those. You know, I'd rather have a day out once a month rather than a big holiday, you know, once a year. I enjoy a nice day out. Okay, right. If this traffic doesn't move soon, we're gonna have to do some illegal moves to get past it, because I think there's a bug. I think those two trucks on the other side of the crossroads are stuck. I don't think either of them can move. They've like bugged each other out. So I don't think this traffic's going to move at all. I also don't know if we can squeeze through here, but I think we're going to have to try. How are you doing? I'm doing good, Brody's Nuts. How are you doing? Right, let's try and slip past, shall we? XY chromosomes? Yeah, I probably do have XY chromosomes. I don't know for definite, because I've never had my chromosomes tested. But most males have XY chromosomes, and I would hazard a guess that I probably do as well. Okay, we're gonna have to... what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to deliberately push this truck out of the way to get past. It's the only way. It was literally the only way, because look, the problem is these two trucks have like soft locked each other, so neither of them can move, and that's been holding up all the traffic. So that traffic was literally never gonna move. So we've skipped past it. We took a hit, but oh god, the truck's actually quite badly damaged right now as well. Why is your game so laggy, says Liam? It's because of the head tracking software, Liam. It's not the smoothest thing in the world, but it's free. I love free stuff. Thanks for following, come on, by the way. Okay, the rain has stopped. Let's do one last wipe with the wipers to get rid of any droplets, and we'll wipe off the windows as well. And we are officially in Turkey. Okay, I need to do it with that window as well, but not while we're on a corner, because that's asking for trouble. Let's wait till we're on a straight bit. wow, lovely weather in Turkey. Okay, I'm going to do it now. There we go, windows cleaned off. 3 hours till we need to sleep. Next rest stop is 1.5 hours away. Okay, we're doing good. I think we can safely get there. Jaden says, I'm in Turkey right now. Watch your tyres don't melt on the road. Just lost a good pair of sandals. Wow. Damn, Jaden. Hot. It's hot over in Turkey then. Are you on holiday, or do you live over there, or work over there maybe? On holiday, getting away from the farm. Nice one, nice one. Have a good time. Where's everyone watching from, by the way? Let's do a little ask the audience. Where's everyone watching from today? Don't be too specific. Don't dox yourself. You know. Leeds, Scotland, Wales. Nice. Glasgow. Lovely. Mostly UK then. That's pretty usual for my streams. I think, like, according to my analytics, like 97% of my audience are in the UK. Ireland, says Tyler. Nice one. South Africa. South Africa, Eugene. Wow. I guess is it the same? It's the same time in South Africa, right? There is it. Are they in the same time zone? Or no, it's a little bit further east, right? So are you like a couple of hours ahead? 17:24. So you're only 1 hour ahead. It's 4:30 here right now. Okay, I need to cut all the way across to the rightmost lane because I need to visit the way station. Whoops. It's always nice to hear about viewers outside the UK, though. Like I say, there aren't many of them, but I do get a few viewers from further afield, so it's always nice to hear from you. Okay, way station. 35 tons. Your vehicle is not in perfect technical state. Be more careful next time. Yeah, I already knew that. We need to get repairs. 35 tons? I didn't realise the trailer was as heavy as it is, though. I thought the shock absorbers are only 16 tons. How? Wait. 35 minus 16 is 19. Does our truck weigh 19 tons? I mean, I know trucks are heavy. I just never realised how heavy our truck specifically was. Well, there's a trailer as well, so... $16 tons of shock absorbers. If you don't mind me asking, why is Industries in your username says Wild Slothman? That's just my brand name, Wild Slothman. Ashbridge is my surname. I've always just used Ashbridge Industries for like any like official stuff that I do online. I just think it sounds quite official. It promises a level of quality which I don't deliver on. Why not on holiday, says Richard? Who needs a holiday, Richard? It's been the hottest summer in British history, so... I'm guessing plane companies don't allow people like you. Richard, I'm sorry to break it to you, but trans people are allowed to go on planes. You are allowed to travel on aeroplanes if you're transgender. There's no law against that. Do you even try to sound feminine, says Joe? Nope. This is my natural speaking voice, and I'm perfectly happy with it. Okay, this is the rest stop that we've got marked. We could keep going, but I think it's safer to sleep now rather than falling asleep at the wheel later, you know? Thanks for following Disney Cruise fans. Okay, I think any of these we can sleep in, right? Yeah, lovely. Engine off. Have a bit of a kip. Drink some Monster. And continue. Have you been on a plane before, says Richard? I haven't actually, Richard, no. I've never been abroad before, funnily enough. We just couldn't really afford it when I was a kid. We could never afford to have holidays abroad. And since adulthood, I've just never really had the inclination to travel abroad. There are definitely a few countries that I'd like to visit. Oh shit, we are going to be late, aren't we? 1 hour and 4 minutes remains. Okay, so we're going to be late. Great. Never been abroad. I think you've been one for a while now. That's a good one, Wild Sloth. I like that. Okay, can I turn off the... How do I turn off the urgent music? I don't want that. Do I have to just turn the music off completely? Yeah, I mean, that works. Benefits, says Richard. What about them, Richard? Are you on them? I'm not. Oop. Yeah, we'll refuel while we're here, I think. Do you like football, says Alistair? No, Alistair, I'm not a football person. What's your story? What led you to truck driving? Says IR American. Good question, IR American. I don't really know, to be honest, what got me interested in trucks. I mean, I've always been interested in trains. You know, from a very, very young age, I've absolutely been obsessed with trains. Used to love Thomas the Tank Engine, which I think is what got me into trains, and now as an adult I'm still a massive train nerd. So that makes sense. Tractors, I'm a big fan of tractors as well, which also makes sense because I spent a lot of time on farms growing up. My granddad used to work on a farm and he used to take me to work with him on the weekends. So that makes sense. But I think with trucks, I don't really know. I don't really know what enticed me to play Euro Truck and get into this for the first time. Actually, it might be because of Farming Sim, because I first started playing Farming Sim back in 2015, and I got my first PC, well, my first proper PC in 2019. And I think it might have... I think I might have, you know... Because I already played Farming Sim, that might have been, you know... I probably thought to myself, maybe I'll try, you know, some other simulator games. And that's probably what led me to Euro Truck. So there really wasn't anything... Like, it's not been with me from a young age, like my interest in trains and farming has. It just really sort of came out of nowhere, to be honest. But, you know, I'm here now. I love the game. I'm very much into it. Do you play Train Sim World? Says STFC. I don't really play Train Sim World very much, but I do play Train Sim Classic, and I will be playing Train Sim Classic on Saturday if you want to join me for that. First time we've played it in a long time. Is there an American truck sim? There is, Wild Slothman, yeah. It's by the same people who make this one. Any tips for trying to grow hair out? Been growing it out for almost a year, but feels like forever, says Wild Slothman. I think it just really... It does come down to look quite a lot, to be quite honest. Some people's hair just grows a lot faster than other people's, you know? I don't really have any advice for growing hair, apart from, you know, just take care of it. I don't really do anything special with my hair. I just wash it with Head and Shoulders a couple of times a week, and I've just done that for the last 5 years. I've really not done anything else with it. Like, I haven't had it cut, haven't had it trimmed, haven't had it styled or dyed or anything like that. Literally all I've done for the last 5 years is wash it twice a week and just let it grow. And it is currently down to... It's past my shoulders at this point. Who do you shave, says Richard. Myself, usually, Richard. I can safely say I've never shaved anyone else. I have been shaved by other people, though. My dad used to shave my hair for me back before I came out. I've never been to a barber's in my life, believe it or not. So much calmer without that dramatic music to tell me that we're an hour late for our delivery. Can you shave my thing? Says Richard. Richard, you're in the wrong place, mate. There are hundreds of dating apps out there. Can we get Richard muted? I think that's a good idea, Wild Slothman. Richard, if you're looking for love, my friend, go get Tinder, you know, or Grindr maybe if that's your thing. This is not the place. Okay, don't worry, he's blocked. That was a bit too far. What's... Fuck off, Gemini! Stop listening to... Right. If anyone has an Android phone, can you advise me on how to permanently disable Google Gemini? Because I'm so sick of that shit listening to me all the time. I swear to God. It'll just randomly chirp up, like, oh, I've found these results for you. Nobody asked you. I wasn't talking to you. Go away. So yeah, if you've got an Android... any advice on how to permanently disable Google Gemini? I don't want AI listening to me 24/7, funnily enough. I was like, oh, he's just a bit odd and a bit lonely, then it went, yeah. Honestly, Wild Slothman, yeah. It gets to a point, you know, sometimes you can excuse it, like maybe it's just a genuinely lonely guy who just wants someone to chat to, which is fair enough, and I'm totally here to just have a nice chat with people, you know, but then it gets creepy. Then it gets to the point where he's asking me to shave his pubes for him, and it's like, you know what, Richard, I think we're done here. Where are we, by the way? We're in Istanbul. Good. Okay, only 4.5 hours to go. We might make it. We've only got 25 minutes, but we might make it. Bro, I just joined. That's the first thing I hear. Sorry about that, Ollie. You just missed out. There was a guy here asking some pretty odd questions, but he's gone now. Oh, pull in at the way station. I want to try Train Sim World, but it's so confusing, says STFC. Honestly, STFC, I would recommend Train Sim Classic. I just think Train Sim Classic is an objectively better game in every way. I think the only thing that Train Sim World has going for it, really, is the graphics. And even then, I don't think the graphics are that great. I genuinely think that Train Sim Classic looks more realistic. I think Train Sim World looks too polished. It's too shiny and, you know, just doesn't look right. I genuinely think if you don't have either game, I think Train Sim Classic is a better game to get, genuinely. Is the distance in these games shortened or IRL time accurate? It is shortened, Wild Slothman, quite significantly. The map itself is scaled down. It's at a scale of 1 to 19. So I guess technically the time scale would be the same. Like if something took 19 hours in real life, it'd take 1 hour in game, in theory. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. I genuinely don't know how the timescale works in this game, and I've been playing it for like nearly 10 years. But it's very nebulous. It's hard to correctly gauge the timescale in this. Is the game free, says Ollie? It's not, Ollie, no. This game costs, I think, £13.50. It is frequently on sale. You can get it for £4.50 when it's on sale, but it's not on sale right now. Ooh, roundabout. Came at that one a bit fast. Okay, 20 minutes. Are we going to make it? Still 4 hours to go. Wow, this is a longer drive than I was expecting. Now, as I said earlier, I cannot run over today because we've got another game to play at 5 o'clock. So if we don't get all the way to our destination, we're going to have to just leave it for next time. Do you have head tracking for the camera? I do, Wild Slothman, yes. It's called OpenTrack. It's free head tracking software. You do need a webcam, but the software itself is completely free. So if you've got a spare webcam lying around, you can turn it into a head tracker with this software. What game are you playing at 5? We're going to be doing RoadCraft. It's my first time ever playing the game. Very much looking forward to it. I've heard incredible things about it, and I'm a big fan of the developers' other games, Mudrunner and SnowRunner. So very much looking forward to trying RoadCraft. Pace a bit. We may have to do a bit of speeding so that I can actually get to the destination before 5. Have you used your steering wheel with it? You can use your steering wheel with it, yes. Now, like I said earlier, I have never even launched the game before, so we might have to do a little bit of setup of the steering wheel when we first start. But the game should be fully compatible with the wheel. I've played SnowRunner and MudRunner with it, so shouldn't be too much trouble. The gear shifter probably not, though. This gear shifter doesn't work with SnowRunner, and I imagine it probably won't work with this game either. But the steering wheel should be fine. Are you playing till 6 or is it a later stream? We are going to be going till 7 today. I wanted to give both games an equal amount of time, so I thought 2 hours Euro Truck and 2 hours for RoadCraft. Is highway speeding as prevalent as it is in the US? 5 to 10 over is common or expected here. Yeah, honestly, people speed a lot in, well, everywhere. Here in the UK, it's very common for people to be like 5-10 miles over the speed limit. I mean, you can see right now, I'm currently doing, well, actually the speed limit here is 50, so I am speeding. But you can see in the game, it does happen quite a lot where the AI traffic is driving faster than the speed limit. Hi Saul, how are we doing? I'm doing good, Food City. How are you doing? You've joined at a good time. We're going to be switching over to RoadCraft very soon for a first look. Very excited to play it. They're not. It's because the truck speed limits are lower than cars, says Sondog. Not in the game, they're not. There's no separate truck limit for. There's no separate speed limit for trucks in the game. And in any case, the AI trucks drive at the same speed as the AI cars. Is the game about fixing natural disasters? So the game is about road building. That's literally the whole game, is you just build roads. So lots of construction equipment, steamrollers, tarmac layers, you know, rock breakers, dump trucks, forestry equipment, that sort of thing. From what I can gather, the whole point of the game is you just find a spot, clear some space, slap a road down, and repeat. Which sounds very exciting. Sounds exactly like my kind of game. My internet is bad, so if I have to leave, then sorry. That's okay, Food City. Sorry to hear that. But if you have to head out, that's fine. Okay, we're getting close. Have you played City Skylines? I love City Skylines STFC. Been really loving City Skylines 2 as well. I'd love to play that on stream at some point, because people have asked me before if I play City Skylines. And I think it'd be a great game to stream, honestly. Just started Moss Valley on Farming Sim. Nice one, Jackson. Have fun with it. It's a great map. Okay, so we are now 100 miles away. And we've got 15 minutes. Can we do it? Oh shit. Whoops. Oh, bit of an accident there. Ignore that. Oh god, we've actually got quite a bit of damage on this stream. We're going to be getting quite a sizable penalty for not only are we late, but we've also damaged the cargo. What are you shipping? We're shipping shock absorbers. Funnily enough, you would think that surely shock absorbers are literally built to withstand crashes, so if the shock absorbers have been getting damaged, they can't be very good shock absorbers, right? I'm just saying. I don't think these are good quality shock absorbers, because we've had quite a few crashes and they have been damaged. I saw you play it and it looked good. Thanks, Jackson. Glad that I could highlight the map for you. Hope you enjoy it. How are you free looking around, says Magic Comic Man. I'm using a head tracker called OpenTrack. It's completely software based. You only need a webcam. The software itself is free. Are you ready for autumn, says Hayden. I am, Hayden. I'm looking forward to autumn. I wouldn't say it's my favourite time of year. I think spring is probably my favourite season, but autumn's great as well. I'm just looking for it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it cooling down a little bit more, because we've had a very hot summer this year, absolutely scorching. Like, I want to get out into the Peak District again, but I feel like it's too hot. You know, especially. The walk that I went on last time, I did a 15-mile walk, and it was so exhausting. I can't imagine going out and doing that in like 28, 30 degree weather. So yeah, I'm hoping once the weather gets a little bit cooler, I've got a couple more Peak District trips planned. I want to go to Frogger Edge on the southeastern side of the Peak District, and I'd also like to attempt Kinder Scout. I've never actually done Kinder Scout before. It's the tallest point in the Peak District. It'd be really cool to do that on video. And then that might be it for this year, but next year I've got some more Peak District videos planned as well. I want to go to Buxton, I want to do the Monsell Trail, I want to do the Woodhead Trail. There's still quite a few places I want to visit in the Peak District. Do you ever get bored playing this? Yeah, it can get boring after a while. I think any video game, even my favourite video games, can get boring if you play them too much, right? It's important to know when to take a break and say, you know what, I'll come back to this later. Wait, ooh, wrong lane. Your voice kind of reminds me of the YouTuber Stampy. Thank you, Albert. I've been told that before. I've been told I sound a bit like Stampy. I can hear it, to be honest. Big Stampy fan, by the way. Although, I mean, to be fair, I say I'm a big Stampy fan, but I've never really been a viewer of Stampy. I've seen his stuff. I've like watched a few of his videos before, but I've never been like a regular viewer of his. But still, he's a good guy, you know? When I walk, my legs feel stiff and achy, says Jackson. Honestly, I get that, Jackson. Usually I get... after I've been on a long walk, I'll wake up the next day and... I'll feel it. I'll feel it in my legs. When I went to Lady Bower, that took it out of me. I definitely don't think we'll be doing a walk as long as that again anytime soon. I think the walk that I've got planned for Frogger Edge is about 8 miles, which is closer to the first one that I did. And then the walk that I've got planned for Kinder Scout is 12 miles, because I'm going to walk from Edale all the way to Glossop, which is quite far, but still not 15 miles. I think 15 miles is probably the longest walk that I'm going to do. I don't think I'll be doing anything longer than that in future. Does the eye tracker take away a lot of the FPS? Unfortunately, it does, STFC, yeah. a lot the stuttering and the frame dropping is because of the eye tracker. Again, it's a small price to pay because the software is free, so I'm not going to complain, you know, that there's a bit of lag when I'm using free software. But it does cause a bit of lag, yes. Have you been to the North York Moors? I have, Louis, yes. I'd love to... That could be an interesting place to visit on video. I want to visit places that are local-ish to me. Like, a lot of people ask if I'm ever going to go to the Lake District, and while it would be really great to do that, I just think there's so much to see in my local area, you know. The Peak District's right next door, the Yorkshire Dales is just up the road, the Yorkshire Moors aren't too far away. I'd love to do like a day out in Whitby and visit the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, because I've never actually visited the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. I've been to Whitby. Oh, I love Whitby. But yeah, I've never actually visited the railway, even though it's like one of the biggest heritage railways in the country. So I'd really love to go. I haven't been to too many heritage railways, to be honest. I've been to the Keighley and Worth Valley, which is another fantastic heritage railway. I've been to the Bolton and Emsey Steam Railway. That's great. There's a couple of others as well, but there's so many that I'd love to go to. Like I say, I'd love to go to the North Yorkshire Moors. I'd love to visit the Grand Central Railway, especially now that they're working on the unification project to join the two halves of it together, after which I think it will be the longest heritage route in the country. So I'd love to visit then, after that's been done. I'd love to visit the Tallyclyn. I really, really want to go to the Tallyclyn Railway. It's the first ever preserved railway in the world. And obviously it has a big part in railway history because it is also a big part of the inspiration for the Railway series by Wilbur Awdry, which then later became Thomas the Tank Engine. And every year they do an event called the Awdry Extravaganza, where they basically do like a celebration of the Railway series and Wilbur Awdry. So it'd be really cool to do that. Like I say, I'd love to visit the Tallyclyn, partly because it's the first ever preserved railway in the world, partly because it's the birthplace of the Railway series. It'd just be really cool to visit. I've been to the Bolton railway station. You've been to the Bolton Emsey Steam Railway, Jackson? That's a good one. That was a fun one. Ever been to the Swindon Train Museum? I haven't, STFC, no. I've never actually visited Swindon. I had the opportunity when I was living in Bath, but I just never got over there. I've been to the National Railway Museum, though, many, many times. Love the National Railway Museum up in York. They're renovating it at the minute, though, so it's not at its best at the moment. They're doing quite a lot of renovation work. Okay, look at this. Perfect timing. It is 5 to 5, and we are right at the destination. There is Farisley. It's not the nicest place in the world, says STFC. Yeah, honestly. I think that's a bit of an understatement. I had a friend, when I was at uni, I had a friend who lived in Swindon, and he commuted to Bath every day. And from what he told me, the reputation is well deserved. Swindon is not a great place. Okay, so this is Farisley. Some interesting road layout here. Pretty tight. Oh, there's a dog. Oh, there's dogs. Oh, hey dogs. How you doing? Okay, I think we'll switch down to 6th now. Nice dress. Thank you, Nico. This is actually one of the first dresses that I bought. I've had this for a long time. Would you live in London? Says Jamal. Probably not, Jamal. I'm not really interested in living in London. I've visited London a few times. It's just way too busy for me. I'm not a big fan of cities, you know. I mean, I live in Doncaster, and that's a busy enough place for me, genuinely. How tall are you? I'm 5'6", Hugo. Woo, nearly. Okay, there we go. That is such perfect timing. It is 2 minutes. I mean, we're late and we got damaged, so we actually got no money at all for that job. We got 0 money and 0 XP for that job. Isn't that fantastic? But I don't care. We're here. We made it. And I'm going to quit straight out of the game because we got another game to play. Let's move swiftly on to our next game. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to disable the eye tracker because we're not going to be using that for RoadCraft. There we go. Let me just move the chat for a second. Okay, so we are now going to be moving on to our second game. YouTube, I am going to actually end the stream on YouTube and restart it. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, I am going to restart the stream. I'm only doing this so that it's 2 separate VODs. It's easier than like manually splitting it into 2 VODs. But that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to end the stream now and then restart it again. If you're watching on TikTok, then it's fine. Okay, here we go. Ending the YouTube stream now.